I'm Tesla, and this is Magically Mindful. Here I share my journey of growth and what it means to live authentically through life's polarity, the messy and the magical, the highs and the lows, and everything in between. Think of this as an open diary for your soul, here to remind you that you're never alone. I don't know who needs to hear this, but stop saying yes. Stop saying yes to every little thing and to everyone. This is the time to slow down. Welcome back to the pod. It's 2026. I can hardly believe it. And that has a lot to do with the fact that this year I am I have decided that I am celebrating the astrological new year, which happens at the spring equinox when we enter into Aries season, which happens around March 2021. Well, 20th or 21st, not 2021. Now, I've never celebrated in this way before. I've definitely had the awareness, but man, 2025 was such a freaking roller coaster that I just I'm not mad that we're in a new year, but I do not feel that at all. And I'm here in Calgary, Alberta. It is very frosty outside. It's beautiful, but it's cold. We're in the middle of winter. Who decided it would be a good time to start a new freaking year in the middle of winter? Okay, I'm in the northern hemisphere. So it just feels so much more ideal to celebrate at the spring equinox when things are blooming and coming from the freaking ground up, you know? Right now I just feel like I can't even set intentions for a new year. I want to, and I have been taking things slow and going inward and reflecting on what 2025 was. And because it was such a roller coaster, it's like I still am processing. I still feel like I'm in it in a sense. Like things are still lingering. Like, really, not much feels different to me aside from a couple things. But I really feel like this episode and this message was just a download. I didn't really prep so much. It was just like my higher self telling me, you need to share this message of stop saying yes to everything. And it's very interesting because oftentimes we hear the opposite, like you got to say yes to everything. But even with what I just shared about how I am waiting to celebrate the new year and saying this as well, it's like it's the opposite of what society wants us to do. And I am always happy to share my perspectives that go against the grain. But I think what 2025 taught me, one of the things is that it is very important to be open to opportunities. And when we're very rigid in our thinking, like when we're trying to manifest something, for me, that looked like for months and months, I was manifesting strictly a remote job. Well, I probably closed myself off to other opportunities because in hindsight, and I have such great news, if you didn't see my vlog, my latest vlog, I shared that I am starting a new job this month, and it's not a remote job. It is a receptionist position, which was the previous role that I had, but it's for a different company. But with that being said, I had to open my mind, open myself to other opportunities. And then I like had so many come through after months of just silence and dead ends with the whole remote thing. And if you are in a someone that has been down that path of replying for remote jobs, it can just feel so hopeless. But then once I shifted gears, it was like I allowed a huge door to be open. And through that, I had opportunities presented to me, but I didn't say yes to the very first one. And thank God that I didn't, because the job that I did say yes to feels so aligned, and I can't speak on it so much yet because I have yet to start, but the papers are signed, so that's why I'm like happy to share it because it's happening. It's just a matter of a week away now, but yeah, like I was starting to find opportunities, and after that silence, it would have been easy to say yes at the first thing. But one of the first opportunities that presented itself to me a few months ago seemed like it was aligned and up my alley. Well, kind of going back to a role that I once did, which was like a brand ambassador, that type of thing. Wasn't exactly that, but just to make it simple, we'll just say that that's kind of what it was. And it on paper seemed like a great opportunity. It was like, "Oh, I would was just a temporary thing for a couple weeks during a Christmas market, but it was close to home." So, and I was looking for any escape from door dashing. So I was like, "Sure, why not?" And so I had went in for this interview, and I also had an ulterior motive of trying to get myself through the door for a more permanent, and it was an admin position at this company. But yeah, I learned a lot in that interview for the s like, event job. So while I was there with the hiring manager, seemingly I was on board, but she was still interviewing other people, so I didn't even know if I got it or not, but lo and behold, I did. But yeah, I just realized that it was way more than what it the job posting had listed, and it would have just required so much more from me that I was like, "No, no, thank you. Thank you, but no thank you." And, I still tried to present myself in the way that, if something else opens up, like, I'd love to do it, but now, being months away from that experience, there was a reason why I wasn't meant to go on board with that company because it ultimately wasn't aligned. And that's why it's so fucking important to not say yes to everything that comes your way. Like, if it's something that's aligned, like, yeah, you're gonna know, and like, of course, I'm not saying never say yes, but I think just it's so important to be intentional, and then I also think with it being a new year, there's all of this noise, and we've been conditioned as a fucking society to be like, okay, all of these goals, I need to do all of these things. I'm hearing from my friends that have gym memberships that they're like, oh my gosh, the gym is so busy. I had to just toss my cat down because she keeps trying to play with this cord. But yeah, they're like, oh my gosh, like the gym is slammed right now. And you see all of these things, and it's like, I mean, going back to the whole, like, celebrating the New Year in January of all times, it's like, the holidays, Christmas season, for most of us, it's such a frantic, chaotic, busy time. Me, myself, it was pretty chill because I don't do so much, like, it's just ultimately me and my partner, and, on Christmas Day, we took our time and then made our way out to the mountains and walked around, and it was, like, a lovely evening out there, and, he cooked dinner for us the night before, so we just had, like, Christmas dinner leftovers, blah, 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 and so, like, I fortunately am have been in a season of life where it's, like, Christmas time is not so crazy, but you feel it even when you're just out and about because, like, the collective energy is heightened. So, to go from that and then be launched into a new year where there's all of these expectations, it's like, I just don't think that this is an optimal time to be like, I mean, obviously, with what I'm saying here, take it with a grain of salt. Like I said in the beginning, I don't know who needs to hear this, but I'm sure that this will resonate with you on some level because I feel like this a new year is the time where we are prone to burnout, hence the fact that, you know, we see going back to the gym example, like memberships obviously like they're at an all-time high at the beginning of the year, but then I don't know, I should actually double check the stats, I'm curious, but not long after like there's a huge dip. And like if you think about February, like it's like dead everywhere. So it's it's just like it's not sustainable or supportive for our nervous system to go from such a crazy busy time to like then all of these expectations. It's like, where is the time to slow down and to reflect on how far we came? Like, okay, hell yes, we wrapped up 2025. Like, how can I take time for myself to look back and celebrate all of the accomplishments or get curious about, where did things maybe not go the best and how would I like that to change for this upcoming year versus just being launched into all of these lists of our goals, which it's amazing, but it's like, it's not sustainable if you're trying to get it all done at once. So, this ties into what I'm saying about don't say yes to everything because it's gonna lead to burnout. It's gonna lead to burnout. And I definitely even just like the contrast between my partner and I is like we know that we're designed differently. I'm a manifesting generator, he's a projector, and I can just see the not self because I think more as I get older, the last thing that I wanna do is be burnt out, and when I do feel like I'm at max capacity, I honestly tap out, and for him, it's the opposite, like, "I love you, babe, but you push yourself to and through burnout," and he's not alone in that, like, so many of us do that, and I think that that's what I'm here is to share, like, my unique perspective on this because, again, it kind of goes against the grain of what so many of us have been conditioned to abide by, which is like, do more, do more, do more, and do some more, and I'm just like, less, 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 less is more for me a lot of the time. So and I don't know, it ebbs and flows, and I have been feeling slow, like, throughout the month of December and into now. Like, this first few days of January, I'm like, I have been sleeping 10 to 12 hours and, like, taking my damn time to get going because guess what? I have 2 weeks of training at my new job, which the hours are pretty chill. It's like part-time training, but then before my actual working hours kick in, I'm covering for someone for 2 weeks, and that's 2 weeks of 5 days per week, 7 AM shifts, 8-hour shifts starting at 7 AM, which is gonna be such a shock to my system, but, like, I'm here for it, and obviously I'll adapt, but it's like, I've known that that's approaching for a few weeks now, so it's like yeah, my body is, like, wanting this time to just, like, hibernate essentially, and I did take time off from door dashing because I was at max capacity of, like, feeling rageful when I would get on the road and be working, like, I just had no patience, and thank God I took that time off because, like, I am feeling a lot more grounded and, like, my capacity is like, I have more capacity now. So it's just, like, being so intentional and being so fucking real with yourself, like, cut out all the noise, take if you could take, like, a day, an afternoon for yourself, if not, maybe an hour or 2 or less, like, I'm not trying to make this be such, like, a daunting thing, but, like, give yourself a chunk of uninterrupted time where it's just you and maybe a piece of paper, like no phone, like just you and yourself and really check in with your body. And maybe, yeah, this looks like a meditation where you're just like, just with yourself, like maybe put some music on, but like I feel like don't have any voices around. Like don't do a guided meditation. Like do something where you can just really tap into how am I feeling? Like, where am I at? What does my body need from me right now? Because the minute we go online or commercials on TV, the radio, whatever, like the media, the media is all about it's a new year. Like, are you going to do this thing and this thing and this thing? And it's just like, no, I'm actually not. Like, I'm gonna chill right now. And, like, with all of this being said, it's like, I'm not here saying, "Yeah, I'm just doing nothing forever." Like, no, I'm about to start a new job. There are things that I wanna get back into. Like, a big one for me is, like, finding routine again with working out. Like, honestly, working out has been something that has been neglected because I just have been struggling to keep myself accountable. And, like, with budgeting, I haven't unfortunately been able to do my normal workouts at the gym, like small group training, because I had to cut that out months ago. But, in the fall time, because I have a freaking gym in my apartment. So in the fall time, it was fine. I was doing the workouts, but I don't know. It's definitely has everything to do with me living under my Neptune line. Because when I was living in California for half a year, 5 months, I had no issues working out from home. And it's like I didn't even have an actual gym. Like I have a gym here, but it's like I don't remember what lines I was living under in California, but I know it's not my Neptune line and I've spoken about this a bit here and there, but yeah, I'm going to say this a lot. Like you're going to be hearing a lot of this because once Neptune moves into Aries permanently for years to come, I know it's going to feel different for me because Neptune did dip into Aries earlier in 2025 and I felt different while I was here in Calgary. So I'm also just like, yeah, I know that it's what I want, but I'm truly not fucking forcing myself to do anything. And I know some people like will say that like, okay, I'm just going to force myself to work out so then I can get in the rhythm, but I just like I really don't work that way. Like, I don't know. And I'm sure there are things that I quote unquote force myself to do, but I don't know. I just like hate that type of energy, which is why I'm happy to be the spokesperson of like slow the fuck down and just give yourself some time to chill? But it's like we all know the things that make us feel good. And so I'm not saying to not do those things, but it's just like, how can you be intentional during a time where we're told to do the most? Because I feel like it would be a fun even experiment to take time. And I'm not telling you to not celebrate the new year, like, I'm acknowledging the fact that it's a new year, but it's like, how would it feel if you took the next couple of months leading up to March when it's spring equinox time? How would it feel to really focus on just having a regulated nervous system and, like, move your body and do the things that make you feel good, but maybe don't do it at max capacity. Like, if you're someone that goes to the gym every day, 5 to 7 days a week, it's not me. I only ever was doing workout classes twice a week, but that worked for me. But if you are someone that does that, like, is there room to maybe cut back a couple of days? And this all just comes from a place of like, finding balance so that you have sustained energy so that you don't find yourself burning out within the first couple months of 2026. Like, we have 12 full months of this year. 12 months. I mean, it goes fast, but right now, like, you have a whole fucking year to accomplish everything that you want to accomplish. So, don't beat yourself up if you're not getting those tens of things done in the first month of 2026, especially with the cosmic energy. You are supported right now to slow down. And if you have been finding it hard, like myself, to have the motivation to do certain things, like that's not for nothing. That's not because something's wrong with you. It's you could be, like we all are affected by the cosmos, but some of us are more sensitive than others. And also, depending on your unique chart, that sensitivity comes alive at different parts of the year more than it would for, say, me. But it's not for nothing. However, you might be feeling right now, like that's not for nothing. And you could be feeling so lit up right now and so motivated in all of these things. And I support you in that. Like, hell fucking yes. Like, I'll meet you there in a couple weeks, in a couple months, like can't wait to see you there. But yeah, if you do find this that you are having this like just this big ball of energy right now, and then if maybe in a few weeks or next month you're like shit, like I feel exhausted, like that's okay. Like just remember that everything is always ebbing and flowing like the beautiful ocean waves, which I don't have access to the ocean over here, but what I do know is that like we have the 4 seasons, okay, especially here in Canada. I know some places in the world it's not giving 4 seasons, but it's for a reason. And I think for me, the beginning of 2026 is like, wow, I'm really doing things differently in the sense that I do want to move with nature, which means we're hibernating a little bit right now. So I hope that this is supportive for you. Send this episode to someone that you think could really benefit from hearing this message. And let me know in the comments what you are doing to slow down. And I'll see you in the next one. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone you love, and let's keep the conversation going on Instagram at Magically Mindful Podcast. For collaborations and partnerships, email magicallymindfulpodcast@gmail.com. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, please leave us a review so we can continue to grow this amazing community.